Have you ever wondered what it takes to truly leave a lasting mark on the world? Something that outlasts the fleeting moments of success, something that stands as a testament to your faith, your obedience, and the protection you've experienced in life? It's easy to go through life without leaving much of a trace, but what if you could set up a legacy that echoes through generations? The Israelites did just that with 12 stones. It wasn't just about the physical stones. They represented something far more powerful: God's miracles, His faithfulness, and His unwavering protection. Today, you'll learn how you can do the same in your life, creating spiritual monuments that not only remind you of God's power, but also inspire those who come after you. Ready to learn the secret behind these 12 stones? Let's dive in. Then, let's read the chapter together. When the whole nation had finished crossing the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Choose 12 men from among the people, one from each tribe, and tell them to take up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, from right where the priests are standing, and carry them over with you and put them down at the place where you stay tonight." So Joshua called together the 12 men he had appointed from the Israelites, one from each tribe, and said to them, "Go over before the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan. Each of you is to take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, to serve as a sign among you. In the future, when your children ask you, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. These stones are to be a memorial to the people of Israel forever." So the Israelites did as Joshua commanded them. They took 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, as the Lord had told Joshua, and they carried them over with them to their camp, where they put them down. Joshua set up the 12 stones that had been in the middle of the Jordan at the spot where the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant had stood. And they are there to this day. Now the priests who carried the ark remained standing in the middle of the Jordan until everything the Lord had commanded Joshua was done by the people, just as Moses had directed Joshua. The people hurried over, and as soon as all of them had crossed, the ark of the Lord and the priests came to the other side while the people watched. The men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh crossed over, ready for battle, in front of the Israelites, as Moses had directed them. About 40,000 armed for battle crossed over before the Lord to the plains of Jericho for war. That day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they stood in awe of him all the days of his life, just as they had stood in awe of Moses. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Command the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant law to come up out of the Jordan." So Joshua commanded the priests, "Come up out of the Jordan." And the priests came up out of the river, carrying the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. No sooner had they set their feet on the dry ground than the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and ran at flood stage as before. On the 10th day of the first month the people went up from the Jordan and camped at Gilgal on the eastern border of Jericho. And Joshua set up at Gilgal the 12 stones they had taken out of the Jordan. He said to the Israelites, "In the future when your descendants ask their parents, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them, 'Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground.' For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you had crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan what he had done to the Red Sea when he dried it up before us until we had crossed over. He did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God." Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for His mercy. Father, thank you so much for this time of learning and reflection. I'm truly grateful for the wisdom you've shared with me today. I pray that you help me not only understand your word, but also live it out daily. Give me the strength and courage to apply what I've learned in every situation, so that my life reflects your power and faithfulness. Help me create lasting legacies, not just in the moments that feel big, but in the everyday choices I make. Thank you for walking with me on this journey. Amen. Imagine looking back on your life and seeing a trail of spiritual monuments, memories, decisions, and moments of faith that stand as a testimony to God's power and protection. What if you started today, setting up your own stones that not only honor what God has done, but also serve as a guide for future generations? The choice is yours. Will you take that first step of obedience and begin creating a legacy that will outlive you? Think about the decisions you need to make right now that could shape your tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start where you are, with what you have, and watch as God builds something incredible through your faithfulness. Are you ready to make that change? To leave behind a legacy of faith and obedience? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you can continue learning how to apply these principles in your life. Let's take this journey together, and I can't wait to see the impact you'll have. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.